Hello and welcome to Bottoms Down Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you've joined us today. Check out the sections on the Bottoms Down YouTube channel homepage. They make it easier for you to find classes by length or by purpose or by body area. And if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. Don't forget it's free and we'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment. In today's practice, we'll explore poses for tension relief. You'll only need your chair, and let's get started. So we're going to start by sitting up nice and tall in our chair. Let's move forward just a little bit so we're not leaning back. Take a moment to ground your feet to the earth, and then ground those sits bones to the chair so we feel like we're equally weighted. We're not leaning one way or the other. Let's close our eyes and connect to that breath. We're just feeling that natural inhalation and exhalation. Let's go ahead and elongate the breath, inhaling a little more deeply and exhaling a little more completely. Move that breath down into the belly. As you inhale, the belly extends. And as you exhale, pulling the belly button to the spine, pushing the air up and out of the lungs. Go ahead and breathe normally. Bring your hands to your heart and set your intentions for today's practice. One more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. Okay, we're going to do some shoulder shrugs. All you're going to do is lift those shoulders up towards the ears, and then you're just going to let them fall. Let gravity do the work there. All right, let's do that again. Shrug those shoulders up into the ears just as much as you possibly can, and then we're going to just let it fall down. Let's do that one more time. Shrug up and just let those shoulders fall down. Excellent. And let's just roll those shoulders. One in one direction, and then we're going to roll them in the other direction. Nice. All right. So let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. Then you're going to reach up with the right hand, and you're just going to lay the hand on the head. Don't pull, don't tug. Just let the weight of that hand give you a little extra stretch. And now we're going to extend that opposite arm long out to the side. So go ahead and flex your wrist and kind of press through the palm towards the wall on the opposite side. We just have one more breath here. All right, let's let that left hand come down first, and then remove the hand from the head, and then let that head fall. And if you want to help it with the finger, go ahead and help that neck up. That's okay, or that head up, because it's a pretty significant stretch. Let's just do a couple of shoulder rolls here before we go to the other side. Nice. All right. Now we're going to drop the opposite ear towards that opposite shoulder. So feel that first, all right? Just that little stretch there. Now reach up with that hand and just lay it lightly on the head. Remembering not to pull or tug. We're just laying it there. All right, so go ahead and get that stretch first. Feeling that. I don't know about you, but I really am feeling that stretch in my neck. Okay, now we're going to extend that opposite arm out. Flex the wrist and press through the palm. Okay, you feel that? Whew, man, this side is tighter than the other. That's very common. One more breath here. Okay, let's take the hand down first. Then release the hand off of the head and then lift that head up. You can help it if you want to. It's okay. Man, that's quite a stretch, isn't it? Let's roll those shoulders again. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to move into a cat-cow as we do a little bit of warm-up for that spine. Let's bring our hands to our heart. And I want you to lift through the spine. So think about the crown of the head to the ceiling and openness through the throat. But I don't want you to let the head go. We're just trying to open through the throat by lifting up through the crown of the head. All right? So this is our starting position. Now, as we begin to move into cat pose, we're going to tuck our chin and round our spine, and then you're going to let your hands fall onto your thighs, okay? Elbows are wide. Tuck that chin, really round through the shoulders. So you kind of feel like your tailbone is going heavy as your belly button is pulling in. You're rounding through those shoulders. You're tucking the chin. Feeling that stretch. All right, now we're going to lift up into our cow pose, all right? So let's grab the back of the chair and lift the heart up. All right, open through that throat if you want to, just a little look out. Let's do that again. Round it down into that cat pose. And lift it up into that cow pose. We're going to add the breath here. Inhale into cow and exhale into cat. Inhale into cow and exhale into cat. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale into cow, grabbing the back of that chair, lifting that heart, squeezing the shoulder blades behind your back, and exhale into cat. And release. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. And let's grab a sip of water. So we're going to take our right leg and we're going to cross it over the left. So let's place our hands in the seat of the chair behind us. Lift up through the spine, crown of the head to the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades back behind you. And now we're going to turn and we're going to look over the opposite shoulder. It doesn't matter. We're going to do both. We're going to look over both shoulders. So it really doesn't matter, but I'm starting with the one opposite of the leg that's on top. We're going to come center, and then we're going to look over the other shoulder. And let's come center. Let's release our hands first and unwrap those legs, okay? Let's do the other side. We're going to cross that leg over. We're going to reach back and grab the chair, extend through the spine, belly is tight, squeeze those shoulder blades behind you. Now we're going to turn and we're going to look over that opposite shoulder first. Let's go ahead and look center, and then we're going to look over the other shoulder. And we're going to look center. We're going to release our hands first and unravel those legs. Okay, very good. So the next thing we're going to do is there are some head nods. We're going to place our hands on our thighs, on our knees, arms are straight. All you're going to do is inhale, and then as you exhale, drop your chin towards your chest nice and slow. Inhale, you're going to take your nose and you're going to lift up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to exhale as you carve that line with your nose along the wall, down, and look back at your lap. Let's do that again a couple more times. Inhaling, up we go. Keep that heart lifted. And exhale down. Don't round the back. So we're not rounding the back on this one, right? Keeping that spine long. Inhaling up. Draw that belly button to the spine. Exhale down. Hug those lower ribs in towards your back, supporting that low back. Last time, up we go. Remember, no rounding. And tuck that chin. And let's take just a moment there. Okay. Now, we're going to do that one more time, and as we do the next time, then we're going to actually tuck the chin, and we're going to let our head fall, and we're going to begin to round like we're going to be doing a cat pose, okay? All right, so here we go. We're going to inhale as we lift the head down, carving that with the nose down, and then exhale, up we go. All right, are we ready? This time, inhale here. Exhale, let's let that head fall. We're going to round the shoulders, tuck the chin, really rounding that upper back. It's like cat pose, but our hands are on our knees. Tuck that chin. Really holding and breathing here for just a few breaths. All right, we're going to lift back up. We're going to take that nose up. Down it goes. This time we're going to round. Ready? Round it down. Hold and breathe. Kind of like cat, but our hands are on our knees. It just feels a little bit different. Okay, change is coming. Are we ready? Now this time we're going to lift our heart up. Now as you round down, we're going to turn those elbow creases up towards the ceiling. Release those hands and as you come down, let your hands slide to your thighs. I'm still looking at my belly button. I've got a nice rounded spine, kind of like cat pose. Now, lift your hands up off of your legs. Maintain that external rotation. Lift your heart up. And pulse. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back and pulse, and pulse, and pulse, and pulse, and pulse. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. One more time. Release. Lift the crown of the head to the ceiling. Round it down. Turn your elbow creases to the ceiling. Go ahead and lift the crown of the head up. Your arms are going to slide up and back and down, feeling those shoulder blades squeezing behind you. Lift your hands up off your thighs and pulse, and pulse, 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 pulse. One more time. Lift the crown of the head up. Round it down. Are we ready? This is the last one. Here we go. Lift up. Shoulders up and back. Your hands slide to those thighs. Lift your hands up off the mat, off the thighs. Your elbow creases are to the ceiling. Squeezing the shoulder blades behind your back and pulse, and pulse, and pulse. Belly is tight. Crown of the head is long. Pulse, 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 and release. That's a pretty intense stretch with a lot of moving parts. So hopefully I was able to cue it and you were able to follow. But it's really a nice little different stretch into the upper back and the neck. I don't know if you felt it, but I really did. Okay, so we're going to move into this chest stretch. It's much like our cow pose. So we're going to turn those thumbs to the back wall and open up that heart. Looking up if you want the little add-on. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Pull your belly in. Just take those hands back to your thighs. We're going to do that one more time. If you want to grab the back of the chair instead, that's fine. Lifting the heart up. Thumbs to the back wall, or go ahead and grab the back of the chair, lifting that heart up. One more breath here, and release. Very, very good. Okay, so we're going to sit up nice and tall and we're going to place our hands on our knees. We're going to take our right hand and we're going to extend it up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to thread the needle between our arm and our thigh. As you thread through, this ear is going to go towards the mat. So I'm looking at my hand, palm is facing up. Let's do that again. Extend that arm up to the ceiling, and then we're going to bring it through, palm is facing up, ear is towards the mat, and stretch. So this arm is pulling through and you're feeling that stretch. One more time. Up we go. Bring it through, threading that needle, stretching through. Ear is towards the mat. Extending, 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 and release. Other side. Up we go. Bring that hand through, threading that needle. Ear is towards the mat, extending that hand through. Palm faces up, and open it up. And thread it through. And open it up. And thread it through. And open. All right, thread it through, and this one we're going to hold for just a few breaths. Trying to push that hand through, palm faces up, ear is towards the mat, really stretching through the upper back. One more breath, release. Let's take a deep inhalation and exhalation. And let's grab a sip of water. Let's come to standing on the right side of our chair. So you want to take a step back so that as we roll down and we can place our hands into the seat of the chair. Okay, so we're going to roll it down, place the hands in the seat of the chair, and your weight is going to be a little bit forward. So remember, you can always come up onto those fists. So if having your hands down is a little bit too much on the wrist, you can always come up on the fist. But I also want you to remember to try to keep your belly tight to where you don't have the weight, a lot of the weight on those hands, right? I want you to have all of your core is super engaged. Okay. So now the knee that's next to the back of the chair, you're going to bend that knee, and the other leg, you're going to step back onto your toes. Okay? So make any adjustments you need to make so that you feel like you're stable. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to rock back so that that back heel tries to touch the floor. All right, now let's rock forward. Let's do that again. Rock it back. And rock it forward. Okay, ready? We're going to rock it back. Try to, the heel, it doesn't have to touch, but if it does, that's great. Now, you're going to turn and you're going to look over that back heel. So you're feeling a nice stretch through the side waist. My neck is stretching, the upper back is stretching, shoulders are stretching, and the back leg. One more breath. Go ahead and take that twist out. Bring that leg up, roll it up, and take a little break. Okay? We're going to come to the other side. All right. So again, we're going to roll down first, okay? Hinging at the hips. We're going to place our hands in that chair. Weight comes forward. Bend your front knee, back foot steps back, and you're on those back toes, okay? So on those back toes, making sure that you feel like you're stable, all right? So I want you to, this leg is bent, you feel like you're nice and stable. Let's rock back and bring that back heel towards the mat. It doesn't have to touch. If it touches, that's excellent. If it doesn't, it's A-okay. Let's rock it forward. And let's rock back. And forward we go. And back. Okay, we ready? Here we go. Forward. Now we're going to rock back. And we're going to turn and we're going to look over that back heel. I don't know about you, but my calf is really feeling this one. Calf is stretching, shoulders, neck, sideways. It's such a good one. One more breath. We're going to face forward. We're going to bring that back foot up and roll it up. Very, very good. Okay, we're just going to stay on this side of our chair and we're going to move into a downward facing puppy. Now, in this particular movement, I want us to really think about our shoulders. I want the emphasis to be stretching through the shoulders and the back. And you do that by squeezing those shoulder blades behind you, right? So we'll take the legs out of it by trying to bend the knees if that works or whatever. But I'll give us a few cues on that one. But I really want you to emphasize the stretching through the shoulders, okay? All right, so let's take a little step back. You're going to want a little bit more space here for this one. We're going to hinge forward. Put your hands in the chair, bring from forward. Now you're going to come down onto those forearms. So you might be feeling your legs stretching quite a bit, and that's okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to press. Watch what I'm doing. I'm pressing my heart back and I'm letting my head fall. My hips are high and I really want you to squeeze those shoulder blades behind you. Let the head fall and feel the stretch through the shoulders. Now, I will tell you, if all you're feeling is hamstrings, bend your knees. It's okay. All right? Bend your knees. So we're holding here in our downward facing puppy. We're breathing. Now I want you to significantly bend your right knee and see if you can kind of tick-tock your hips. So we're walking our puppy. Now significantly bend the other knee and let your hips talk the other way. Does that make sense? You should really be feeling those hips moving side to side. Go ahead and bend your other knee. And the other one. Go ahead a few more times, kind of at your own pace. Don't lose the squeezing of the shoulder blades behind you. We're walking our dog a little bit here, our puppy. One more time. Go ahead and finish wherever you are. Straighten both legs. Come to center. Let that heart fall a little bit further. See if you can get a little more stretch. One more breath here. Bend both knees. Pull your belly button to your spine. Begin to roll yourself up off of the chair, holding on if you want to, if you're feeling a little dizzy, right? And release. How did that feel? I like that one. I think that one's a really good one. So we're staying on this side of our chair, and what I want you to do is position your feet where you're in alignment with the front edge of your chair. You'll see why in here just a second, okay? Now, with the leg that's next to the chair, go ahead and reach back and grab the back of the chair. Take a step back. Now, you see where the back of the chair is right in alignment for you to hang on to it, isn't it? So we're going to bend that front knee, and we're up on those back toes. So I didn't turn that foot like we would do in our warrior poses. I'm up on those back toes into a crescent lunge. The idea here, what tends to happen, I'll see this in my classes, my in-person classes all the time, is people will come here, they'll try to let that heart fall forward, because what it does is it takes some of the stretch out of that back leg, and they're like, ooh, I feel that. I would rather you lift your hips up and lift the heart up than come forward and be way down here. Does that make sense? So go ahead and lift your heart up and let yourself sink as deeply as you can into this stretch. Hip flexor and quadricep on that extended leg. You feel it? I do. Whew. One more breath here. All right, let's go ahead and lift up, step, and release. Let's do the other side. So again, we're going to start with our feet in alignment with the front legs of the chair. The leg that's next to the chair is the one that we're going to step back. Go ahead and reach back and grab that chair. Step it back, and you're on those toes. Okay? So we're not turning that foot. We're going to stay up on those toes, those back toes, and let our heart sink. Not our heart, our hips. Let our hips sink. So you're feeling this back leg. So not only is it, again, it's the quadricep for sure, but you're getting that hip flexor, that connection there, right? So it's so good. Breathing here. We just have one more breath. Remember, the heart is lifted, and we're going to release it. Okay. So we're going to go to the other side. And this time we're going to get into that crescent lunge, and then we're going to lift up and we're going to move into a pyramid pose. Don't worry, I'll help you, but I just wanted to kind of give you a little direction of where we're headed. Okay, so remember, feet in alignment with the front legs of that chair. The leg that's next to the chair is the one that's going to step back. Are we ready? Step it back. Come into that crescent lunge. Sink down into it. Heart is lifted. Releasing this glute, right? We're letting ourselves just sink down into that pose. If you want to bring your hands to heart, that's fine. Okay, now all I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten this front leg, and then I'm going to hinge forward, and I'm going to let my heart come forward into that pyramid pose. Hold the chair. You don't have to worry about balance if you don't want to, right? If you want to work the balance, keep your hands at heart. If you would rather stretch into that front leg, then hang on to the chair. Don't worry about balance. Okay, are we ready? We're going to bend that front knee. We're going to lift our heart back into that crescent lunge. Oh my goodness, sink in. Can you sink anymore? Can you bend that front knee anymore? Don't sink in it by letting that heart fall. Bend that front knee. Are we ready? Lift up, straighten that front leg, extend through the spine, and let that heart fall forward. Hold on to that chair. Oh my goodness, there's that pyramid pose. Go ahead and lift up, bend that front knee, back foot comes forward, and release. Whew. We got to do the other side. Are we ready? We can do this. Okay, step back. Remember, my feet are in alignment with the front edge of the chair. Step back on those back toes. Let yourself sink down into that crescent lunge first. Feeling that front side of that back leg stretching. Okay, we're going to straighten that front leg. Heart comes forward, keeping the back flat, letting that heart fall, and there's the front leg, right? The hamstring of that front leg. You feel it? Oh, I do. I have tight hamstrings anyway, though. All right, are we ready? Lift it up. Bend that front knee. Remember, you can always have hands at heart. Are we ready? Extend. Hinge forward. Pyramid pose. Lifting that heart up. Bending that front knee, and release. Very, very good. Okay, so we're going to come behind our chair and do a standing pigeon pose. I am going to step out just a little bit. I think you can see me a little bit more easily if I'm not behind my chair, but you stay behind your chair, okay? Now, we're going to do both sides. So for me personally, I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to you can cross right here at your ankle, you're going to shoot your hips back, right? Your hands are on the chair, and you're letting your heart fall forward, okay? And it's a great version. Belly is tight. This is a really, really good version. And come up, okay? If you want a little bit more, you're going to cross this ankle onto that knee. Now, you're going to want to bend that supporting knee just a little bit, all right? That standing knee, because it kind of gives you a place for you to rest that ankle. Yes, you see what I'm doing there? My hips are shooting back, and I'm letting my heart fall forward. Okay? Now your hands can be on the back of the chair. If you want to let go of the chair and put your hands on your shin, on your leg, that's fine too, right? You can join me on the side of the chair. I'm giving you lots of options here. Sinking down into it, you should be feeling this hip and glute right over here pretty significantly. Oh my goodness. One more breath here. Let's come up nice and slow. And release. Put that foot down. Walk it out just a little bit. And we're going to do the other side. All right, so again, you're behind your chair. I'm just out so you can see me better. Ankle to ankle. The key to this one is shooting your hips back. So I'm not letting, if you just let your heart fall forward, you're not going to get the same stretch as if you push your hips back first and then now you're going to get into that hip. Do you feel the difference? Yeah. All right. So remember, that's a great version. If you want to stick with that version, go for it. If you're with me, I'm going to bend my supporting leg, that knee, just a little bit. I'm going to place that ankle there, and I'm going to shoot my hips back. Right? And begin to let my heart fall forward. Okay. So you can be, again, if you need more, you can either come to the side of the chair or just step back a little bit so that you've got room to begin to let yourself sink into the pose. Pigeon pose. Standing pigeon pose. We just have one more breath here. All right, nice and gentle. Come all the way up. Put that foot down. Let's come to seated. Take that deep breath in and that full breath out. And grab a sip of water. You're going to let your arms just fall down by your side. So thinking about those shoulders are just like weights. The arms are weighting those shoulders down. Keep your belly nice and tight to stabilize your spine. You're going to begin to move those shoulders back and down. So we're squeezing our shoulder blades behind our back. Our hands are down by our side. Bring your chin to your chest. And we're going to hold this position for several breaths. Don't hold your breath, just breathing natural. We have one more breath here. We're going to release the shoulders first. Go ahead and roll and look up and take just a moment. Okay? Okay, we're going to do that again. We let those hands fall by our side. So feel the weight pulling those shoulders down. Now we're going to slowly move your shoulders back and down. Bring your chin to your chest. And hold and breathe. Don't hold your breath, just hold the position. Breathe naturally. One more breath here. Release the shoulders. Go ahead and look up. We're going to do that one more time. Let those hands fall down. Feel those shoulders dropping. Squeeze your shoulders behind you. Bring your chin down to your chest. Hold and breathe. We have one more breath here. Release the hands. Release that. Bring the head up and release it. If you want to roll those shoulders a little bit, that's fine. Okay. So for the next one, what we're going to do is we're going to drop our chin first towards our chest, and then we're going to be bringing our gaze kind of back behind our shoulder. Okay, so you'll be, excuse me, dropping, and then you'll be looking, and then you'll come down and we'll look the other way. Okay, we'll take it nice and slow. Again, our arms are down by our side, letting the shoulder, the weight of the arms really pull those shoulders down. Okay. All right, so here we go. We're going to pull that belly button in, and we're going to take our gaze down, dropping that chin, taking the gaze down to the lap. Okay. Now from here, you're going to turn your gaze, and you're going to look over that left shoulder. We just have one more breath here. Bring the gaze back down to your lap. And then you're going to be looking over the other shoulder. So it's not just to the side. Really, you need to feel that like you're trying to look over the shoulder to really maximize the stretch in that neck. Again, these are scalene stretches. Bring the head down. Really feel that back of the neck stretching before you go to the other side. Kind of making that big circle feeling, right? We're looking over that shoulder. That neck is really, really stretching. Hands stay down by your side, feeling those shoulders down towards the floor. Let's go ahead and look down at your lap. Last time. Here we go. Last side. Looking over that opposite shoulder. One more breath here. Go ahead and look back down at your lap. Release the shoulders and look up. Oh, or look towards me. That is quite a stretch for me. I don't know if you felt it or not, but okay. So we're going to do a little isometric resistance stretching here. So you're going to look straight ahead, and your chin is tucked, your head is long, right? Not tucked back like this, but just a natural, I want you to have a nice long spine, okay? So now you're going to take your palm and you're going to place it on your forehead, and you're going to apply pressure. So I'm pressing in with my palm, and I want you to resist the movement. So your head is pressing forward. So I want you to resist the palm pressing back. Does that make sense? Release it, and we're going to do that again. Palm comes up, applies pressure to the forehead. Resist that movement. Don't hold your breath. Just hold the pressure here. Release it. We're going to do that again. Palm comes, applies pressure. Your forehead resists that movement. And release. Now, I like doing this one with both palms. You can do it with one. I'm going to do it with both. So now the hands are on the back of my head, and I'm going to press my head back into my hand. So again, it's that isometric. You're resisting that movement. Hold it and release it. Let's do that again. Pressing the back of the head into the palms of the hands and the palms of the hands forward. And release it. Last one. Press it back. Hold it. Breathe. One more breath. And release. Give it just a couple of shoulder rolls there if you want. Okay. So now we're going to begin, again, we're going to look down, we're going to look forward and feel the lengthening through the spine with that natural chin tuck, okay? Roll your shoulders back and down, engaging the muscles in the back, all right? Now maintain this tension, and I want you to slowly tilt your head backwards so that you're looking up at the ceiling. We're going to tuck our chin, and we're going to look down at the floor. Let's do that again. We're going to look up. And we're going to look down. And release. Man, those are some good stretches, right, for the neck. I don't know if you felt it, but I did. Okay, so we're now going to move into a seated pigeon pose. So I'm going to take my ankle and I'm going to place it here on my knee. Remember, you can always cross ankle to ankle if that feels better for you. But I've got ankle to knee, and I'm going to extend through the spine, and I'm going to let my heart fall forward. Seated pigeon pose, we're getting a nice stretch into that hip and glute area. We're going to go ahead and lift that heart up. Just flutter your butterfly wing a little bit. And we're going to do that same thing again. Extend through the spine, pull that belly in, let the heart fall forward. If you want to gently press on this leg, you can. Maybe give you a little bit more stretch, your choice. Go ahead and lift up, and let's put that leg down. We're going to the other side, all right? So remember, ankle to ankle is fine if you want to do it that way, or you can do ankle to knee. Extending through the spine, pull the belly in, let the heart fall forward. Seated pigeon. Let's go ahead and lift up. Flutter that butterfly wing a little bit if you want. Extend the spine long. Let that heart fall forward. Remember, if you like to press a little bit here, that's fine. Let's go ahead and come up. Place that foot on the floor. Go ahead and sit back. You can lean back if you wish. Place your hands lightly on your thighs. Flip those palms up to the ceiling. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Know your priorities. What exactly are your priorities for this day, this year, this experience of life? What is of importance to you, and in what order? Want to give yourself a massive advantage in all you do? Be clear, specific, and honest with yourself about your priorities. A well-developed sense of your priorities will foster confidence, enthusiasm, and discipline. When you're clear about your priorities, you're able to make optimum use of your time, energy, and resources. Priorities inform you without restricting you. They give valuable perspective to every choice you make. Even when you have strong, clearly defined priorities, you're not always forced to follow them. You are, however, always able to give your consideration to them. Know your priorities, and you can make decisions more quickly with better quality. Know and pay attention to your priorities, and you'll have an essential structure to live a life of great fulfillment. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Reach up with your right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that opposite hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with your hands. Give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach up with the left hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that opposite hand down towards the floor. Resist it. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. If you would click on that subscribe button, I would appreciate it. I will see you next time.